chippiness in the game. And I'll be honest, the Clippers might need this. You see Paul George frustrated. There are not many players in league history that are better at getting under your skin. And I say this as a compliment than Chris Paul is.
I had a tough year last year. People think it's sweet, man. People think it's sweet because I was down. I didn't hear none of this my 10 years in the league. But last year, people living on that last year. And I got to answer to that.
So a lot to digest there from the altercation you just saw during the Clippers-Suns game last night. And you just heard Paul George say he didn't hear as much trash talking as he's experiencing now. Ramona, are there still lingering questions about Paul George on the court that he has to address?
Yeah, and there will be until they win. I don't think there's anything he can say other than winning and other than just playing great every night to silence his critics. Because we all know what happened in the bubble last year. We all know the Clippers melted down. We all know he hit the side of the backboard, okay? We all know, right? But the thing with Paul, that something that we in the media appreciate but also hurts him in some ways, is he is so open. He's so telling you exactly what he's feeling in that moment, which is great. I want to know. Don't you want to know? Makes for good TV, makes for good stories. But I think he might have to stop that a little. Just like, if you prick him, he bleeds. And I think he just needs to not let anyone get close to him. Don't let anyone get under your skin. Don't be so open. Don't put your guts on the floor all the time, because people are using it against you at this point.
Yeah, I think, too, part of me, I disagree from the standpoint of, I do want to see this more from Paul George. I want to see that guy that's ready to go to war at all costs, who's ready to put it all on the line and show people how important this really is to him. Not that he hasn't before, but I look at the Clipper team and I see a cool team, talented as hell, well coached, but they got some mellow guys on that team that play a smooth game. And I just think the team in general, other than Patrick Beverley, I think the team needs one of those stars to bring this kind of ferocity to the table. Okay. So I think it's a good thing for him, but I also think Devin Booker is smelling blood in the West. He sees that shooting guard spot. He thinks he's the best. One, he thinks he's the best player on the floor, period, which most nights he is. But he's also looking at that two-guard spot saying, I'm the best in the West, and I'm going to show you. And that is just what's going to be from here on out. It's the land of the Wolves.
I was interested to hear Paul say, hey, it wasn't like this for my first 10 years in the league. And look, that is the cost that comes with going to a market with more eyeballs. And I am not in any way taking a shot at Indiana or Oklahoma City. There is just math involved. There are more people, physical people, to watch what you are doing when you play in Los Angeles. And the advantage of that is you get more endorsements because you control and impact those eyeballs. But the flip side is that when you come up short, and they unquestionably did last season, that more people are seeing and remembering and talking to you about it. And you heard the announcer in that clip, I don't know who was on the call there, but saying no one gets under your skin better than Chris Paul.
Oh,
and
he is the best.
He is a champ at that.
And the Clippers have championship aspirations. They are truly a contender, right? OKC, they were there knocking on the door. Indiana, they were kind of knocking on the door. The Clippers are true contenders. People are going to come after them, and how they answer the bell throughout the season, I think, will tell a lot about their overall success.
I do like Paul's response there, and tied up in that, as you put it, Ramona, tied in up with him putting all his guts on the floor with how he feels to hear this, the fact that he is hearing it, was his response. And I'm happy with the overall comment, because he said, I have to prove it to people. I know that. I'm on a mission to do that this year. I think that's a big deal to hear him say that. I give him a lot of credit for having that kind of accountability, and he really has since the first time he stepped in front of a podium for the Clippers this season. So I'm interested to see where we go there. And I want to talk about the other side of that matchup, too, because the Suns tied for the second best record, not in the West, guys, in the league at 5-2. Our researcher, Michael Schwartz, could barely come to work today because of all the dancing he's been doing for the past week. They are third in defensive efficiency, fourth in net efficiency, and first in limiting opponents' made three-point field goals per game. I told you our researcher is a big fan of this team. We get all the stats for the Phoenix Suns. Fizz, are you buying the Suns' hot start to continue deep into the season?
I absolutely am buying it. First off, let's credit James Jones with putting an awesome team together. Monty Williams should have never been an assistant coach. This guy is a big-time head coach in the NBA. He's a tactician. He gets the most out of his guys. And you're talking about Chris Paul, the great competitor, You're talking about a Devin Booker who's breaking through to getting into conversations like MVP, and you got a big-time 7-footer who's back there learning how to defend on a nightly basis and bring energy and effort to the game. I like them. I don't know if they can hold this spot, but I think that we are looking at a playoff team, and we're looking at a dangerous team when it comes to those playoffs.
Well, look, they were a team that was a revelation in the bubble, right? Like Devin Booker was the star of the bubble. They were great. But when you add a guy like Chris Paul, the question is it going to be a seamless transition? So far, it has been. And I think the big stat that you put up there that is most telling to me is they're doing it with defense. It's not just about the way Chris Paul's organizing the offense, the way Devin Booker can score, the way Bridges is hitting 3-pointers right now. Like Devin Booker hasn't actually been as good as he was in the bubble. He's 5.5 turnovers a game. He's got to clean that up a little bit. But when you have that defense, when you're organized on that end of the floor, you're going to be in a lot of games. And I think that's where you give credit to Monty Williams and his staff for bringing this team together on that end of the floor.
Absolutely. And I think Chris Paul and Monty Williams already had that connection.
For sure.
So talking about seamless, I mean, you already played for a guy. You've already been in the trench with him. You know what to expect from him. Monty handed that thing over to Chris, and now he's got a coach on the floor. I expect this team to be really good this year.
All I know is when the karma fairy is walking around handing out good things, Monty Williams deserves all of them. All the good karma for him. And I would also say, look, 5-2, it's a start, right? It's not going to guarantee a playoff spot. It's not going to do any of that stuff. But I will say it's a shorter season. I just have to keep saying it. Each game is not one of 82. It's one of 72. That makes a difference. And so these starts are something we got to pay a little bit more attention to.
I agree.
I do want to take some time to pay our respects also to Paul Sixers. Tobias Harris calls his own number and packs it.
Ooh.
Ramona Harris looking like Clippers Harris this year?
I don't know. I think that Doc Rivers was really designed some things to get him going.
I know Tobias
Harris. I just
Harris.
want to point out the topic bar at the bottom of the screen for the Arrested Development fans there, just saying.
Sorry.
Shouts, Bomber.
Sorry.
Miss Showtime. Bulls down almost 30, but Denzel Valentine decides it's a good time to get flashy, and it did not go well. If you were his coach, Fizz, what would you be saying to him in this situation?
We have to have a conversation about that one. This is not and one mixtape, buddy. Go get a
I used
layup.
to do things like that when I played Fizz. You would
See,
hate me.
you
My
were probably
coach was like,
uncoachable.
what are you doing?
Uncoachable. But you probably made all your shots, too. So, you was probably
No,
tough to
I
take out of
didn't.
the game.
I was just a total hot dog. It was just ridiculous.
I think we're going to need some video, Ramona. That's a note to
We gotta
self
get
for
that
next time.
film.
I grew up watching Magic. I'm sorry.
Make decals. Lakers Grizz. LeBron pulling up from the logo. Fizz, did he do this when you were coaching him in Miami?
Yes. Yes, he did. And then he always
Look.
Sometimes he just feels like, you know what? I'm going to do this. And I think sometimes you just got, as a coach, hope that it goes in and look the other way if he misses.
You're going to have to guard him from there now.
Well, he is 36 years old now, 18 seasons, and I love that I still see things on the court. I mean, look how happy he was with himself after he hit that logo shot.
He can hit that shot from about 30 feet further back because he's so strong.
Well, he does the full court Kevin Love
Football pass,
lobs,
yeah.
right?
It's ridiculous.
Some of those can go in the hoop. All
Gonna
right.
have to guard him.
Miss Gravity, Hawks Nets fourth quarter. Hawks up big. John Collins elevates over Jared Allen, and that's not just anyone. That's Jared Allen.
He goes and gets it.
That's right. It's I don't know, Ramona. Business decision by Allen there. I mean.
No, you know what? He got in there and contested really well. If you notice, he hung a little in the air there. John Collins had to pause, wait for Jared Allen to fly by. This is why he could be a dunk chance.
Wait, why are the producers putting the airplane video in there? That's not right. Do not bring a man back to a low moment after a high moment. Let him have his. That's right. Good point.
He dunked on him. That's getting dunked on right there.
He had to let him fly by.
But Jared Allen's gonna go after it every single time.
I feel bad for that airplane. Make doinks. Titans with a chance to win it. Let's go over the NFL here.
Wow.
I like this.
Doink. Here we go. Doink. Does not go. Oh, it did go in. Right,
It went in.
Doink.
You made it.
Do you think he called Doink?
No, he did not call Doink. But he is a happy man because it went in. I'll tell you that.
There you go. I always need the replay on the field goals when it first goes in. I'm like, what are they doing? Are they going here? Are they going?
I could be standing right there and I still couldn't tell.
Yes. Time to run it back with the best Doink winners ever. 2014. Blake Griffin against the Suns.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, just held on.
Game winner. Look,
That's pretty tame for Ballmer.
2012.
Shooting touch.
I know, that's so nice, right? Doink.
That is tame for Barber.
2012, KD versus the Mavericks. This was the first round of the
Look
playoffs.
at how
Doink.
tough that shot is.
Boom.
See, I think that's touch. This
Yes,
is
that's
a touch
absolute
shot.
touch.
This isn't a doink.
That's touch, absolutely. And he's the only guy in the league that can make that shot.
Use that backboard. 1999, Allen Houston in Miami.
That's touch. That's touch.
Can you see little producer Steve in front of the TV? We didn't have that shot also?
A Knicks highlight.
I remember that right there. It ripped the hearts out of everyone in Miami. Oh, that was a tough one. It's a tough spill to swallow. What up, hey?
Sorry, Fizz. 86, Ralph Sampson.
Ooh.
Historical doink.
Oh, you talking about some people in LA just, heartbroken.
We're
Never
basically
looked at the
ripping-
rim.
I was going to say, we're ripping apart both Fizz's childhood and his early work years here. You know it was coming. 2019.
The best doink
Kawhi calls doink.
Oh.
Wow. I mean, you can't contest it any better. I mean,
at
that is
Embiid.
a big time shot.
I
Wow.
still don't know how he got it over him.
Look at that.
Man.
Oh.
That's 7'3" in your face.
The
The
six.
the fate of so much.
The Sixers
if that
felt some
ball
pain.
had tipped a little bit one way or the other. I'm just saying. All right, coming up next, you will hear Paul George's reaction to this dust-up with Devin Booker last night. Does PG still need to silence his doubters? We will discuss that. But first, here's what The Jump recommends for today. Kevin Pelton ranks the 7 surprise teams in the NBA this season. Head over to the app to see where the Hawks, Pelicans, and Suns rank.